Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And this lesson is, on a simple topic, really, something you first learn when you come into the truth, but it's been the Lord has made it a topic of discussion, really for edification's sake, amongst Israel, and that's lineage and, your father's seed and what determines true lineage. And off the bat, what determines true lineage is your father's seed. Your mother is, she's the fertilizer to the seed. She's like the earth, the soil, which fertilizes and nurtures the seed. But the soil doesn't determine, what the seed that's put into the soil is going to be. And this is something I learned when I first came into the truth. This analogy is, if you have an orange seed, or if you have orange seeds, and, I plant some in Babylon, in America, then I go plant some in Europe, in China, India, in Canada, all those seeds are going to be orange seeds. They're going to take different characteristics. They're not going to look exactly the same. The soil, based on the soil, they will change how they look. The trees itself won't look identical, but nonetheless, they're going to be orange trees. And that's exactly how lineage works. On a carnal level, you can say that's why there's the XY and the XX chromosomes. The XY coming from the man and the XX coming from the woman. You can go into that on a carnal level, but really spiritually, it's simple. This is how the Lord looks at it, and this is why you have, this is really how the Lord made it. It's very, the Lord is not the author of confusion. So here in Babylon, they tell you, if you mix, if your mom's this, and your dad's this, you're half this, half that, 25% this, 25% that, when it's all confusion. And Esau, he does a lot of these things for many reasons, really, to, one, confuse us, to keep us from knowing where we go back to as much as possible. And as well as what I believe, trying to find who amongst his own people are actually Israelites. But nonetheless, the Lord created it to where, it's simple, man. The seed, your lineage is determined through your father's line, and we're going to get scriptures to substantiate that. And if you can't receive this, then, the Lord he just isn't dealing with you, because it's really an easy concept to understand. And this is why you have Israelites that I was going to say this, moments ago, Israelites that, or other nations that have swag, and talent and ability that Israelites have, but they look like the other nations. When you see those, Japanese Ammonites, which is the biblical name, breakdancing and all those things, and, all that swag and everything that they produce through their own culture, more than likely those guys are Jakes. They are Jakes, because only Jake is the salt of the earth. Only the Israelites have the talent and the swagger that the Israelites have. It can't be, copied. It can't be mimicked. It's natural. It's in us to be that way. So this is Numbers 1:1, and it reads, matter of fact, let me just get, because it says the same thing twice in the same chapter. I'm just going to go to Numbers 1:17. And Moses and Aaron took those men which are expressed by their names, and this is verse 18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and declared their pedigrees after their families, meaning their lineage, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, for 20 years old and upward by their poll. So, they determined, they were trying to figure out who was who, and what their lineage is, and what did they do? You know, Moses and Aaron, they determined it by the pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers. Because your father's line is your nationality. You are what your father is. You know, your mother, you know, the Israelite woman, or the woman in general, is the fertilizer. You know, even that's why in the ancient world, you know, when there was war, you know, and people would conquer, you know, different places, they would kill all the men and take the woman. Because, you know, men is how you forward the line. It's how you forward your seed line. You know, and it's a very simple concept. You know, the video really shouldn't, the video doesn't have to be long, but you know, Jake is simple, and you know, people are, you know, they buck up against the word for whatever reason. The Lord has them, you know, in that lot. You know, but and then, you know, people also, you know, it's a topic of discussion now that you know, being with a heathen woman is wicked. I mean, it's been a topic of discussion, but they're saying, you know, to be with a heathen woman is wicked, and you know, you're not a full Israelite if your mother is a heathen. And this is all madness, because the scriptures clearly tell us that we will have concubines in the kingdom, and we're going to take the heathen for an inheritance, man, as handmaids, and for handmaids. What does it say? Let me just get it instead of butchering it. Yeah, so this is Isaiah 14:2, and it reads, let me start at 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, meaning the Israelites. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're going to be ruling over our oppressors. So yes, that includes concubines, man. Look up what a concubine is. It's a part of rulership, you know, as well as multiple wives, man. And the Israelite woman is going to be the top woman in the kingdom. And we're going to love our Israelite woman. You know, everything's going to be in order. Because, you know, people of this world think multiple wives, they think concubines, and they just think, they think of Esau's depiction of these things, man. They just think of women being treated like, you know, treated like garbage, you know, and that's not going to be the case at all, man. The Israelite woman is going to be, you know, taken care of beautifully, you know, and she's going to have servants as well. Everything's just going to be in order, though. The woman is not going to be over the man. And other nations, the women of these other nations, if we like them, you know, we will take them, man. We're going to be on top of the world. You know, so these guys have weak spirits, man, and it's really stems from this effeminate, spirit Esau is pushing on these men, man. Men aren't really men, and they're trying to cater to women nowadays. That's really why they're saying all this stuff. You know, but this is what's gonna happen, and those babies that we have with, you know, the heathen nation woman will be Israelites, because we are Israelites. The seed, or your lineage is determined through the seed of your fathers. You know. And we're going to get an example of that in the scriptures. Right? So, I mean, this is easy cut, man. This is a very simple concept. So this is 1 Kings 14:21. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was, so Judah, the head tribe of the nation of Israel. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord did choose out of all the tribes of Israel, to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah in Ammonitis. And that's the point. And Ammonitis is what? The so-called Japanese. So his mother was so-called Japanese. And obviously his father, King Solomon, was an Israelite. Right? So why would the Lord, you know, why would the Lord bestow, you know, rulership onto or that position to Rehoboam if he wasn't an Israelite, you know, over the tribes of over the tribe of Judah? You know, and in Jerusalem, the homeland. You know, if he was, Well, I think what they're using now is they're saying mamzer. You know, they're saying just not fully an Israelite. Why would the Lord have it so? Because that's not true. That's not the case. The case is that his father is an Israelite, so it doesn't matter what his mother is. He'll take on physical characteristics of his mother, possibly, but his lineage, who he is who his father is, which is an Israelite. Right? So it's a very simple concept, man. And King David, similarly, his grandmother, I'm pretty sure, was an Ammonite as well, or a Moabite, one of the two. So, it's a very simple concept, and if you're new in this thing, this is really for edification's sake, that your lineage is determined by your father. And you might have experienced it in your life that you've seen somebody of another nation that has a swag that, you might have as an Israelite, that vibes with you, that has talent, can sing, rap, can jump, run fast, which is more characteristics than that to being an Israelite. But, these things come easy to Jake. And as I said earlier, you can't replicate, Jake's salt, man. That salt is just, it's spiritual, man. It's who we are. You can't take it and recreate it. All right, and let me get a precept on that, and I think I can close it out. I think the point is made. So this is the book of Matthew 5:13, and it's red letter, so Yahushua is speaking. And it reads, "Ye are the salt of the earth, and salt gives things flavor." So the Israelites have the flavor of the earth, man. That's why we're extorted for our talents in Esau's kingdom, man. And to build up his kingdom, of course, through slavery. And to this day, they use us and milk us for entertainment, and still building, and many other things, man. Even the modern day conventions that we use today were invented by Jake, but Jake don't get the credit for it because they created it, during slavery, because they needed it. The biggest example is probably the light bulb. Louis Latimer created it, but if you look up on Google, it still tells you Thomas Edison created it. Right? And there's the court case, that I'm pretty sure won his record of it, but still, the consensus is that Thomas Edison created the light bulb. More of Esau's lies, to control the narrative, man, to exalt himself. But nonetheless, let's continue reading. It reads, "Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is then forth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men." So, our people are falling away from who we really are. So basically, a lot of our people, most of our people, 2/3 of our people, their salt is, it's not, it's basically, it's worthless, because they're not being an Israelite. But, nonetheless, the point is, we are the salt of the earth, so it can't be replicated, man. So the proof is in the pudding, and it's spiritual. Matter of fact, one more precept, and I'm going to close it out because, it's not, it's evident. The proof is in the pudding. If a brother has this knowledge and understanding, and he's prophesying, calling on name Yahweh Shem Yahushai off rip, that's the biggest indicator that he's an Israelite, no matter what he looks like. So I'm going to get a precept to substantiate that, and then we're going to close it out. Lord's will. Yeah. So this is Romans 8:16. It reads, "The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." Right? So the Spirit is going to reveal who you are, man. Your spirit is going to reveal who you are, if you're an Israelite or if you're a heathen. Like I said, you can't replicate Jake, man. So if a brother is prophesying, man, there's brothers in Great Millstone that have, that look like Edomites. But they're prophesying, breaking things down, doing the work of the Lord, calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're Israelites, man. It's not about the outward appearance. You know, but these people who say these things, they're really not spiritual. They really don't believe in the gospel. They really don't believe in the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're carnal people at the end of the day. And this is a spiritual thing. You know, and this is a part of the curses. We've been scattered, man. We've been scattered. So there's going to be a lot of Israelites that look like other nations. Right? So, like I said, very simple concept to understand. You are who your father is, man. That's how your line is continued. And that's what your nationality is determined by. Your father's line, your father's seed. Right? So with that, Lord's word is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Salakia. Shalom. Abba Babal and Kwam Yasharala.